Yeah. Imperfect, set perfect.
Esto. Y
If anybody asks me, and I don't think anybody will, why I didn't go.
esto expresión son realizó son
Well, yeah,
televisión delicioso delicioso
I'm just wondering if anybody hears anything because I don't. Thank you.
The first order of business is, has everybody signed in with Amy? Did we make sure everybody signed in? Good. Okay, thank you. All right. All right, thanks everybody for coming, both live and on Zoom.
How do you
Hope we
sign
have a
in?
productive and
How do we sign in, Robert?
yes. How do I get the right? There it is. There it is. Okay.
How do you sign in?
Well, those of you.
Sign in.
Those of you who are not on, who are on Zoom, I'm not sure how we can do that. I just want to make sure that everybody in this room signs in, so just we know who's here. We could probably make a list. So how we can do that? Yeah, that's a good question.
I take a list.
Okay, Mark's gonna make a list. Mark's gonna make a list. Yeah, well, I don't want to take the time to read the names. Mark's going to take down the list. They will be. Mark's going to make a list. That's correct. Yeah, well, I don't want to take the time to read the names. Mark's going to take down the list. They will be. Okay. Very good. Okay. Evan, you want to do the pledge?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. The first order of business is the appointment of an acting secretary because Gigi's not here. Can I have a motion to appoint Amy Botel as temporary secretary?
So moved.
Okay. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? Thank you very much. All right.
Thank you, Amy, for always stepping up.
All right. And thank you, Amy, for stepping up. The next item of business is Curry to talk about the treasurer's report. Just before she starts, just to make sure everybody got the minute, Gigi sent out the minutes from the
Can I
last.
make it
meeting.
louder?
Yeah, I can talk loud.
Oh, got it. Oh,
Okay,
boy.
Gigi
I
sent out
did
the
it, I
minutes
did
of the last meeting.
I just
So
did
we're
it.
not gonna deal with those. Now we're gonna go on to Curry and the treasurer.
Thanks. It's been a busy month. This is kind of the last kick until election day. I think we're through most of our large expenses. At the moment, we have $26,439 that has not yet been spent, barring
Yeah,
any.
I mean, I
period.
feel like that's not okay.
We have some parenting going on the Zoom meeting. Yeah, so unless there are new material expenses that were unexpected, like for example, if the boiler were to explode and take all of our equipment with it, we don't expect there to be a lot more. And we're starting out in a good spot for the next election cycle.
I guess I want to explain that last statement. The problem was we don't have heat in the office on Haverford Avenue. And so we asked the plumber to come out. The plumber came out and said, oh, there's a drip from the sewer line. And so if you turn the boiler on, the place will explode. So we voted not to do that. And we're using space heaters instead. Okay. If anybody wants to hear about that, we can talk about that at some length. I think the only candidate in the room is John McMahon. John, do you want to come up and say a few words? Are there any other candidates in the November election?
No.
Oh, and Narberth. Okay.
Dana Edwards is here as well.
Okay. All right, Dave, okay.
Good evening, everybody. I think the first thing that I want to say, and I'm going to be very brief, is I really appreciate the opportunity to be the candidate for the district justice position that I'm running for. And it's truly an honor, and I appreciate all of the support that I've gotten from all of you and the entire committee. And I'm very excited about this new endeavor. That being said, you know, as a lawyer for almost 40 years, a person that's been in courtrooms, and you know, we all know this already. So I'm going to tell you what you already know, but I'm going to tell you again. We are truly at a crossroads in the United States of America. And I'm a history buff. In fact, history has always been my favorite subject. Military history, World War II, Civil War. And, you know, there's many examples that exist in history of what we're seeing in our country now. So it really is truly scary, worrisome. However, the bottom line is I have a lot of hope because I believe that most American people do believe in the rule of law, do believe in our democracy. The problem is just so damn many of them got their head in the sand and they've just been manipulated and lied to. So my message to all of you is the following. Number one, thank you. Thank you for the privilege to be running as the Democratic candidate in Lower Merion for this position. And I promise you, if I win the election, which I'm hoping I will, since I'm unopposed, I'm going to do a good job. So I'm very grateful for that. And then my second message is, I think we all need to suck it up. And I think that we all need to double down on the work between now and this election. And you're all here because you're all workers, so I get it. But maybe it's time to try to recruit some additional people for the home stretch if possible, because we got to win these. We got to win this Pennsylvania Supreme Court. It's not really an election, but we got to win it because that would be an absolute disaster. I don't think that that's going to happen, but these three judges that we have, Donahue, Doherty, as well as Justice Weck, they're just great judges. So I would just again say thank you, and let's suck it up, work hard, and do what we got to do to get this done, and keep it going after this election because the battle will continue. Thank you.
Since this is my, since this,
Working.
it's not working again.
No.
All right. Well, we'll keep work, no, I don't understand what the problem is about the mic. Here it is. Okay. Since John is a young member compared to myself, since this is my 50th year at the bar, it's nice to see young men like John stepping up to the plate. With that, if the Narberth folks that are here want to speak, and then Dana and anybody else on Zoom can speak.
I think most of you know me, Mike Salenson, former committee member, and I'm running for my first full term in Narberth Borough Council. I was appointed to replace somebody. I've been a lawyer for 39 years. I was an American history major. I wrote a play about Abraham Lincoln. So we have a lot in common, and I really want to echo what you said. I know our primary season was fraught with unpleasantness, trouble, whatever, and we have however many days left to go. And as a candidate, I'm on every day, and my son is on every day on social media, pushing back on some of the school board folks. I really think that I worry not for myself, because I'm running unopposed too. We have so much in common. We're separated at birth. But I really think that it's important for the school board especially, that for those of us who are unopposed, who have, an easy path to victory, hopefully, that we all have to come together in these last 10 days and really make sure our school folks are elected. If you've been watching me on social media, we've been sort of pretty critical of the Republicans for accepting the endorsement of the 1776 PAC, and I put a lot of information on social media about what that PAC stands for, which is pretty scary. And the idea that the Republicans are sort of presenting themselves as moderates when they refuse to disassociate from the PAC, and they've just gotten a whole lot of money spent on them by the PAC on a mailing. We really have to get out to our neighbors and explain, I at the polling booth, but most importantly before, to get that misinformation cured. And I just, now more than ever, there's so much danger out there at the state Supreme Court level, at the school board level. This is the time that we have to be unified and work together. And I hope to see you all, work in the polls. And Tuesday night, we can all be celebrating. That's all.
I just want you all to be aware that the latest mailing that we've seen from the school board appears to be improper as a matter of law. Yeah, appears to be improper as a matter of law. And so I filed a complaint with the county solicitor assigned to the election board about that mailing, because it did not have a statement as to who paid for it. And we did that. I did that this afternoon. With that, Joe.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm Joe Stratton. I'm running as a Democratic candidate for the Narberth Borough Council. I just have 3 messages. I started with 2, but just have 3. One is I have 0 years on the bar, so I'm so thrilled at how young I am. I didn't realize that. The 2 is to thank everybody in the room and so many others for all the hard work that everybody's doing to make sure that we get all the right people elected, especially our school board and our judges on the retention. And thank you so much for all of that. And this is my first time as a candidate, and I had no experience with this. And so many people have been incredibly helpful to me. And Sarah Atkins, I just want to call you out, especially for all of the availability and the work that you've done. Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody.
Anybody wants to see the mailing, which comes from Evan's division, I'd be interested to know. Okay, some of the people on Zoom wanted to speak. Dana, you want to go first? Dana?
Dana had said he just wants to thank Sarah.
Okay, anybody else on Zoom who's a candidate in the November election wants to speak? Hearing none, it's time for Sarah.
Yeah, that's the mailer, by the way. It came to my house. That wasn't very smart of them to send it to me. Um, So lots to go through because we are, I hate to even say this, it's making me very anxious. We are 14 days, kind of, as they said at the MCDC dinner, they kept saying 16, really 15. So we're really kind of 13 days away from the election. And I want to start with things that we have done. We have already written about 12,000 postcards. We have knocked around 6,000 to 8,000 doors. And we have had loads and loads of community engagement events that we found new people coming to that we had never met and never been able to reach before. Last week, if you came for the ice cream social, 2 of our high schoolers, they're 15 years old, they're phenomenal and so excited. They, from start to finish, ran this event. And they've already said, Sarah, what can we do for next year? What can we do for next year? So they are excited, and they already recruited more high schoolers who want to intern with campaign support. So it's very exciting. We've also sent thousands of texts. Thank you to comms for all the writing that you're doing nonstop so that we can do this work. We still have about 10,000 doors to knock in 2 weeks. We have about 6,000 phone calls to make, and we still have postcards, as you can see over there, so grab some, to write. The judges at the MCDC dinner, from the Supreme Court all the way to county, they all were coming up to me, thanking me for all the work you have all been a part of. They were so appreciative of how much we're doing, but they all had the message that everything hinges on Lower Marion and Narberth. They are asking that if we look at the 2021 numbers, that each precinct we increased by about 50 extra voters from that number. So, and that alone will make a major dent in what they need to get for statewide. So thinking about that and all that's to come in the next 13 days. Committee people who have requested canvassing lists. Most of you have picked them up. Thank you, because I think that was the fastest pickup we've ever had. The rest of them are sitting over there. If you haven't picked yours up, make sure to pick up your packets so that you can start knocking your doors. And then if, say, you didn't sign up and you want to start knocking some doors, I put a sign up list, put your precinct, put how many around doors you realistically can do, and I will get in touch with you when you can pick up your packet. Also, a note from the comms team and Zeke, if you can take pictures and a video of your canvassing, they would love it to put onto social media so people could see how much fun we're having knocking those doors. And it is fun. And they will be excited to join us. Phone list. So some of you signed up to phone bank your precincts. Those are coming tomorrow, maybe very late. As you guys know, my emails come out middle of the night. They'll come really late or tomorrow. We did start phone banking today for the precincts that don't have committee people phone banking. So we're phone banking the targets from our universe that we're knocking right now who are inaccessible or apartment buildings, so that we can at least reach those people. So phone banking started at the office, and I will email you those lists. Postcards, they need to be sent early next week. So if you can take some more, great. There's a whole lot of committee people packets that never got picked up. Maybe check if you didn't get yours, grab your labels and grab cards. And if you can still, and get as many as you can done. I just want to give a huge, yeah, just about to. I wanted to give a huge shout out. I don't know if Cindy's still at the office cleaning up or if she's on Zoom or anything, but Cindy Rickards each Tuesday has gotten her girlfriends together And they have been postcarding in our event room. And I think they probably did about 500-600 postcards just tonight. They brought drinks, yeah, huge shout out to her. They brought drinks, they had a sisterhood, it was beautiful. And not only that, but like, it was actually 2025. And not only that, but there was a young lady who just graduated from Smith who had just moved back here, and she just came in and they like engulfed her, and now they're like making contacts and helping her find a job, and like, and now she wants to help and like do more for the committee. So it's been amazing. Vote yes signs are back in. We are back in business. I want to thank Robert Paul's brother-in-law, right? Brother-in-law. He drove all the way to State College to pick up those 200 signs so that we can get more on the doors. So not the doors, on the yards. So I brought some. There's more in the office you can pick up. Phone banking will be tomorrow and next week, Monday through Thursday, if you're not doing your own precinct, at 5 o'clock at the office. Canvassing every Saturday and Sunday, 10 to 4. But you can also pick up a list anytime we're open. They're always there. So you can just come get a list, go out. Anytime that we're open, you can pick it up, but like knock every day. You don't have to wait till it's the weekend. This Sunday, we're having canvassing and tailgate. Thank you to Terry for starting to put this together. If he's awake, because he's been working so hard for SEPTA. So thank you, Terry. Despite all your hard work for SEPTA, you are still organizing this tailgate party. There's going to be drinks, food, and I think we're going to be playing the game, right? Oh, we're grilling.
Don't forget, Terry's gonna be grilling.
Terry's grilling, and playing the game. The game starts at 1, so join us, go Birds, and then go vote. We have 2 more community at the office. We have 2 more community engagement events besides the tailgate. This Thursday, both of them are on Thursday, so it's a big, big day. At 5:30, we are having Drag King Story Hour with Oliver Twist, who will be reading stories. We'll have coloring and snacks. It's gonna be so much fun. Last year, Drag Queen Story Hour was so successful that like we didn't even have room for everybody in the room. So come, even if you don't have kids, come join us, like, and enjoy the joy that comes out of this event. And then at 7:30, us adults can go across the street to the Greeks for Democracy on Tap. Additionally, we will have an election night gathering at the office with food. And right as I was writing this update, we got new data from MCDC on the mail-in ballot return so far. Realize the drop box is only opened on the 17th, right? And the data is always a couple days behind. So that being said, Lower Marion has so far 7,926 requested mail-in ballots. 7,926 requested mail-in ballots, which is over 1,000 more than 4 years ago. Could be close to 2,000 more, actually. So far recorded in that we have the data for is 3,352, which is a 42.29% return rate. 3,352 with a 42.29% return rate, which is huge. It is also a higher percent turnout than 4 years ago at this time. People are pumped. We are hearing positive things at the door. The people are coming in and asking so many thoughtful questions. People really are getting it. Like, you guys just keep knocking those doors and talking to everybody you know. Narberth had 555 requested mail-in ballots, and 230 have been returned with a 41.44% turn-in. So everybody's rocking it, but we're still gonna be chasing those mail-in ballots hard. This Saturday, from 11 to 4 at the courthouse, will be the last satellite voter services day. So please send anybody who might need some troubleshooting or want to request a mail-in ballot, like right there, get it printed right there. That's the time to go. So send people. We actually had somebody who was postcarding for Cindy, and she goes, my kids just called me. They forgot to request a mail-in ballot, but now they're realizing how important this is. What do I do? And we were able to walk her through. She's going to have, a proxy form signed, and they're going to sign the forms, and then she's going to overnight their mail-in ballots and pay for it to be overnighted back. But like, we can do this, but we've got to like be on it. Bag day from me, you will get emailed because we want the most up-to-date data. So that's why we email it to you instead of print it a couple days before and, put it in the bags. We are going to email you a spreadsheet with your mail-in ballot voter numbers. So one tab will be ballots in. Those are your returned mail-in ballots. One tab will be your mail-in ballots still not in, and it'll have phone numbers and everything for you guys so you can make those phone calls. And then we will have another tab that'll be your strike list. And we'll make sure you have their phone numbers and their addresses so that like people can call them and do everything needed.
Wendy, you're printing them as of what date?
I'm gonna email you the actual spreadsheet. If you need a printed copy, but anybody, Monday, before the election. November 3rd. I can't remember dates at this point. So thank you. So, but if you need a printed copy of that, I can do that for you. I'll do it Sunday night and leave it for you at the office, but you gotta let me know you need that printed. Yes.
You can deliver the mail-in ballot as late as 8 o'clock.
Okay, yes, make sure your mail-in ballot voters, when you're making those chase phone calls, know that they have till 8 p.m. and it's not like the polls. So, when we tell everybody stay in line if it's 8 p.m. and you haven't voted, doesn't work for mail-in ballots. If it's not in the drop box by 8 p.m., it's not counted. So really encourage them to go as early as they can. I mean, ideally, it's all in before election day. In fact, I have mine in my bag to drop off right after this. So get people to do it like as soon as possible. But that list that you have that you're going to start calling on Monday, like tell them go now. And worst case scenario, you got to have it in by 8 p.m. Like it's got to be in there. If you need help with strike list calls or mail-in ballot voter calls to chase them election day, email me. We have people who want to make phone calls, who want to help, who we're going to have the office open. We're going to be doing a bunch of things from there. We'll have people phone banking from there, but we'll also, you guys will have my number. You should all have my number, but I can make sure you have it. And if there's an emergency and you need us to send like somebody to help you, like say you have somebody yelling at you and like interrupting and like not letting you give your spiel, or we saw it in the primary where they were getting in our faces and we needed extra bodies at certain precincts. And I know our new committee person, Shannon, I was like texting her, Shannon, go here, go there, or Zeke. I was like, Zeke, I need you to get to this polling place right now, go. And so we will have a list of people that will be roamers, and we can send those people. So if you text us in, we'll get in touch with them and we'll make sure that you get the help you need on election day, in the real time. Additionally, Phyllis asked me to create this, and I was very happy to do this. You'll see in the middle, there's like spreadsheets. I only printed a couple of copies. I'm gonna send all the committee people this. What it has on there is number of Dems, number of those who voted, and the percentage for 2017 and 2021 for each precinct broken down. Additionally, we put the estimated number of Dem voters for your precinct. It's not official until the book drops on the voter services website. So we put the estimated number of voters, we put the number of voters who voted in the even years and not the odd years. Those are really the people that you're gonna want to like, that's how we're gonna get those extra 50. That number is in there, and if you want to get more information about those, just email me and I can send you a list. The number of mail-in ballot requests in your precinct, which the county actually did me a lot of time saving by sending me the list of numbers. I will be putting in late tonight the number of mail-in ballots already in for your precinct. I have to still put that in. And then all that other data. So that will be emailed to all the committee people. You can look at your precinct, get an idea, you know, a feel, especially we have a lot of new committee people, so they can get a feel of how their precinct has done in the past. But I did print out a few copies if people wanted to look at that. And then all we can do, honestly, at this point, take all that energy, all that nervous energy, all like your worries, and we've got to hit those doors. We win literally at the doors. So we got to get knocking, because democracy in Pennsylvania hinges on this, and we know Lower Merion and Narberth is incredibly important to win statewide. So I can answer any questions if you want to give me time to answer questions, or you have more to add.
You all might be interested in the county numbers,
Oh,
which
yeah.
we got, unless you want to talk about it.
You can do the county numbers.
All right. There's 65,000 mail-in ballots were requested. 30,000 have already been returned, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
Of those 65,000, 16,000 of those Democrats did not vote 2 years ago. Yes, so it confirms what Sarah was saying, that there is a lot of enthusiasm, not just here, but across the county. And so now I would like to open up to any questions that somebody has for Sarah.
Any question? Yeah.
I'm a newbie, so.
Can you either stand up and talk loud or come forward?
What's that?
Hey, can you either come forward or?
I'll stand up.
Okay.
That's good.
The canvassing list, is that just Dem doors?
I can explain that. So it's a 9-step creation. Oh, she was asking the list that you guys are getting to canvas right now. What is it? Just Dems? Who is it? So it is a very complicated 9-step form. It is people who voted in the evens, didn't vote in the odds necessarily, who are Dems, independents who fit into that category, but they are like, there's something called a DNC number. And it like the higher the number is, the more likely they are to vote for Democrats. So it's a certain number and higher. It is all of our mail-in ballot voters. So you might see when you put your list in, it says voted on it. That's just they've actually turned in their mail-in ballots since we cut those lists. And you can skip them because they voted. And then it is, I'm trying to think. We took out people who we didn't think would lean our way. So like independents who had like 3 or more Republicans in their household, or had X number of Democrats in their household, we kept in. There was a debate back and forth with MCDC. Do we take out our 18 to 21-year-olds because most of them are not home and we're knocking doors to get them out when they're not there. So they're not on those lists. But it really is the Dems who, they are being texted, they were being called, some of them, I didn't take them out of the phone bank. And then they will also, some of them will get the postcards you guys wrote as well. And we actually, if you see, there's like not a Lower Marion address that is being shipped to. It's because we have a mailing address for somebody who is a resident here and votes here, but has a mailing address elsewhere. So that's why you might see those in the postcards. So that's kind of our universe. It's a universe that if we really work those lists hard, we will have good turnouts. So no. What we're seeing, what I'm hearing from people is either they didn't realize that there was an election, or they're really pumped there's an election and they're excited to vote for our who we're saying to vote for. And in your canvassing packet, every single packet will have that sample ballot for that specific precinct. So you can show them both sides. You can show them exactly what's going to be on their ballot. The lit also on the back side, it has the sample ballot. So like what you see on the marigolds, that's what's on one side of it, and on the other. The marigold ballot for the new people who haven't gotten to experience election day. Yeah. So it's this marigold yellow that you will be handing out at the polls. So if you have a mail-in ballot, you probably got this mailed to your house by NCDC. And then at the polls, when you get your bag, you're going to have a stack of these marigolds that that's the sample ballot that you're going to be handing out. So we call them the marigolds. So this is what's on the back of the lit, and on the other side is like all the judges. So does that answer your question? Awesome. Yeah, go for it.
The strike list.
Yeah. Okay. So what some committee people really like to do. She asked what a strike list is. So we have a unique program that is very successful here in Lower Marion. I don't know how long it's been going on, because way before me, where people print out their roster of all their Dems, and then you'll, with your, sheet, so you can go in back. Your watcher certificate. You'll be able to go and see the list. You know how they write all of our names on that long sheet of paper? So you'll be able to see it and then literally strike out somebody's name. They voted. And then some people like to do it at 4 o'clock. Some people like to do it at 4:30. I like to do it at 5 o'clock because that's right around when the people in my precinct are coming home. And those stragglers or the last people, we always in our precinct, I know when we make those calls, we definitely get people running in. Oh, thank you for calling at the last, and they'll come in. So it helps get those last people in. Any other questions? Adrian, did I see you had a question?
No,
Okay. Bill.
This is a question for 2
Yeah.
weeks from now.
Yeah.
Will there be the same system as in the last general to cure ballots and the same rigidity in terms of signatures and dates on them?
So that's a Supreme Court situation.
The federal court
Okay,
ruled
they did?
that
Finally.
the state will not matter.
Okay.
So that's the
But
list.
SCOTUS hasn't. I don't know if SCOTUS will take it up. They didn't in the past.
Right.
Yeah.
Department of State elections at the last stakeholders
Yeah.
meeting, talked about that and talked about, how the counties have to call you now.
Yeah,
If they
so the
want-
county will be calling, but we'll also MCDC will give us, there's a whole document that they create with all the lists. And we definitely get it, and then we can make calls. It's also on the Montgomery County Voter Services, it's on there. And we definitely will do something to do that. It's important. Any other questions?
Then we respond to that one.
Okay, yeah, you're the lawyer, not me.
Yeah, well, I heard that, I heard that somewhere. Just so some of you may remember that in the general election, there was a period of time when we were trying to get Casey somehow over the top. And a lot of us spent a lot of time looking at individual ballots and trying to get them cured. And there is a period of curing that goes on, and a procedure that varies from county to county. So hopefully we're going to win so big it won't make any difference. Right there?
Right. And we're
Okay.
gonna know by like 9 o'clock, right?
Absolutely.
Well, we're still all at the office party.
Yeah, right. Okay, right. Okay. Finger out to God's ear, as we say. Okay. 2, 3 or 4 quick things to follow up what Sarah said. For those of you who are experienced, I apologize for reminding you. For those of you who are new, however, this is important. We have on the Sunday before Election Day, we have what we call Bag Day. Bag Day will be at the office. The officers and Sarah will get the fun of putting together your packets.
I'm gonna be running canvas.
All right, all right. Anyway, we're gonna be put together the bags by your division. Show up after about 12 o'clock and you'll be able to get your packet, which will have all of these things that we talked about, and also including phone numbers to call in case you have trouble and other sorts of things. And also your vice chairman will drop around at least once or twice to check on things. Finally, watch your certificates. There's still open time to submit anybody that you want to have as a watcher. The county is very lenient, I guess is the right word, about even though the statute says you're supposed to have 3 for party in each division, and that's the limit, the county's taking the position that if you give them a name that you want a watcher certificate for, they'll give them, assign them to another division, and then you can have your watcher certificates for those people, so you can have as many as 4 or 5 people in your division if you want to. Okay, with that, I think, Adrian, I think you're next, unless there's any more questions. Okay,
Any more?
okay. Well, if you have any more, I guess, Phil's. Come on, come on, come on.
Just an additional answer. About the strike list, that you need the full watcher certificate to get into the poll. So you can look at the list of voters who've signed in to strike them off. And that one of the things that committee people need to be doing now is to identify and get commitments from and schedule a few volunteers from your precinct to make those calls that Sarah was describing, in the late afternoon or early evening. And then some people may not know that there is the County Democratic Committee has a handbook for committee people. And if you need it emailed to you.
It's on our website. It's on the website.
Okay.
It's on theirs and ours.
Where is it now?
It's on our website and on
It's on the MCDC website. If you can't find it, send me an email and I'll send you the link.
Okay, Adrian is going to make 2 reports. The first, she's going to talk about the forum, and then she's going to report on MCDC in her capacity as area rep.
One of 4 area reps. I had my board designation. Just to add another little bit to Sarah's report and what Phyllis said, I happen to be a judge of elections, as does June back there. And I wanted to let you know that if someone comes to you and says that their ballot has not been accepted, okay, they are entitled to vote a provisional ballot and make sure that they do that. The judge of elections, they cannot stop you from doing a provisional ballot if your ballot did not get accepted. You can't really, but if you haven't voted provisional, if you haven't voted mail-in, you can just vote regular. If you do have your ballot and the envelopes with you, you have them with you, you can go and give them to the judge of elections. They will void them
but what they call spoil, and then you can go vote like a regular person. So these are a couple things, and any other details that you want to have on this. I've only been doing this for 35 plus years, so I kind of know the routine. So that's that. So issues and policy had an absolutely fabulous forum for the judicial candidates. They all thanked me at the meeting on Sunday. And that was really good to hear. And I want to thank some people who went above and beyond. Let me get my notes out. Including Deb Lansdorf, who came up with our flyer. Daniela and Jess from Communications, who did a wonderful job and were very helpful. Susan Gilmore, who got kind of slated as our timer, but she was there nonetheless, helping us out. Ruth Jenkins and Nancy Kleinberg. And special thanks to Mark Steele for being our tech person, helping with the forum and getting us online. Sarah for teaching me about Mobilize, and of course Zeke Taylor, who was our moderator. Everybody did a wonderful job. Okay, and I hope I didn't leave.
Who were terrific.
What?
The judges.
The judges were amazing. I did send them a thank you. And a copy of the form so they could share it in their circles. Okay, there's that. MCDC. I did not get to go to the last meeting because we had an executive meeting here. But I did find out that the draft of the new bylaws for MCDC did come out. And I've been going over them. Some stuff I went, oh, why did they take that out? But then they put it at the end. So there wasn't that. It's only 3 pages. So not finished perusing the whole thing. But the one thing that did stand out to me is they want to change the threshold for endorsements down to 55%, which to me makes it sound like they want to eliminate primaries. So, but that's just my humble opinion. I have to do more research on that. And I thank you all for paying attention. And everyone, please go out and canvass. I'm talking to me too, as I say that. And it's just really important. If I could get a canvas buddy, I would love that, because going out by myself is not fun. Going out with somebody, it takes it from all the way down there to all the way up there when you're doing it with somebody. So find yourself a partner. Okay, thank you very much, everyone.
Canvassing, as you all know, is an interesting phenomenon. I was out this afternoon in my division, and I got, I had a Republican doctor who said to me, I will never vote for Trump. I will always vote for the retention. That is the most important thing that any of us have voted for. So that was an exciting thing happening. The next thing that I want to talk about is, Mark, if you're going to talk about the website and all the cool things that you're doing on the website.
So real fast, we have a new site, which we announced at the last meeting, but it's been in effect for a while. It's doing very well. Traffic has really picked up. Sarah, Jason, Scott have done a good job of putting on events. And we got Terry's event right here, our canvassing. I'm very excited for your cooking. The one thing I really wanted to point out, first of all, if anyone has any suggestions, please email them in. I've never really done a design like this, because this site really is like, people come in and want to do specific things and go to other places. But we do have something that I just wanted to point out that this quote is random. Every time you go to the page, you'll get a different quote. If you click on it, you see the different quotes that we have loaded up. And there's a form to suggest a quote. So if any of you have something that you want to share, please submit it. And I talked to comms about this. We want to solicit from you all after the election, short little blurbs about why you want to be, or why you are committee people, what you get out of it, something short and benign, but we want to keep people coming back to the site in between the elections. Any questions or, yeah, Zeke? To the calendar, yeah. So I'm still working up the calendar subscription. I'm experimenting with it. It's put at the bottom here to subscribe, and you can, if you use iCal, you can go right to iCal. It will put you right into Google Calendar, and you can subscribe to it, and it'll update. Yeah. And there is a link to street lists down here at the bottom, and a link to Vote Builder and subscribe. And yeah. Yeah, so the voter center. Yeah, so we have the voter center, which is constantly being updated. We're pulling the data in directly from the county. So if polling places ever change, if ballot drop boxes ever change, or hours for some reason, although I think I'm going to clean this up, I don't think the hours are going to change. And Phyllis's idea to add these two buttons here to make it easier for non-English speakers. And we've put in some mail-in ballot tips and election dates. And this is what I mean by, like, these buttons all take people to the official Pennsylvania pages.
So it's really cool sign. It's got a lot of stuff. So much better than the ones. Yeah, I don't get a lot. You have to wander around.
The old site was very robust. It was very good, but yeah, we're happy.
I would like to say how easy it was to work with Mark, yeah, so that's also a plus.
It was.
There you go. I agree with you. Sarah said she wanted to say. All right.
So I'm putting out a call for anyone here on Zoom that has a mail-in ballot that they have not yet dropped off, and or if you know someone, a friend, a constituent that would be willing to film a video of themselves dropping it off. Zeke and I are looking for footage to try to put together a reel of people dropping off their mail-in ballots, so we can put it out on social media, maybe even on the website, and just try and, boost that energy and reminder so people drop off their mail-in ballots. So if you have anything, you feel free to reach out to me or to Zeke. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to have a few announcements, and then I'm going to turn it over to Phyllis. Yes, AJ.
One of the things I do that I won't be doing this year because I'm not going to be here is Saturday is the last day for the satellite office. And I remember last year there were so many people there at the last minute trying to get their ballots. So if you are planning to go to the satellite office on Saturday, get there at 11. Do not wait till 3:30 because it closes at 4. And it was really hard on the workers there, and people were mean to them too.
And if I'm not mistaken,
There
it
was a-
takes about 20 or so
Minutes, if you're,
if not longer, for your ballot to
because it has to go to Harrisburg to get checked out and then come back. But you can do everything. You can drop your ballot off. You can if you made a mistake on your ballot, go there. They'll issue you a new one.
one of my favorites is, she put her ballot in his envelope and he put his ballot, and so they had to come and get that done, so, it's always something, yeah. Oh, the hurricane with, oh my God, yes, that's it.
Well, remember, that's only for the live ballot, if you want to do the live ballot. Remember that the Dropbox is there now and is open 24 hours, both there and at Ludington. We're going to have a vote builder training for anybody who's interested in vote builder on November the 13th at 7:30 at the office. The next general meeting will be scheduled for December the 9th in this room. The last thing I want to talk about, and then I'm going to introduce Phyllis to talk about what she wants to talk about, is that, as you know, Mary Jo decided to resign and is not running for reelection, and the county is setting up a procedure to deal with that, filling that vacancy, and we will be hearing things from MCDC about that. Finally, Phyllis had asked for some time to talk about small group discussion. I'll let her talk about it. I'm not asking anyone to stay, but anyone who wants to stay and, chat with Phyllis about that, I'm going to let her speak and describe what she wants to do, and then I'll take a motion to adjourn. Phyllis?
Well, all I want to do is to facilitate a process within the committee for committee people to be as effective as possible. So it's not, what I want to do, it's what we want to do. I think the first thing that I will do is just thank everybody who's here and who's online, who did go and greet, follow up with the new residents in their precinct, to help them register to vote if necessary, or just to welcome people to the neighborhood. And once again, certainly my experiences were all really positive, and anybody who's told me about their experiences were all really positive. It's really very, very nice thing to do, and people really appreciate it. And some people really do need the reminders, especially, it seems to me, my experiences is young couples who are moving, who, setting up a household and have a toddler and a baby and are working, and it's not the top thing on their list. So they do need reminders, and they're really appreciative. So, and coming around with that letter with a QR on it, that really helps. So, thank you for those who did do that. Because, new voters makes a huge difference. I will just say also that lawn signs in an odd numbered year election like this that has very little, if any, media coverage, although the Philadelphia Inquirer has had some good articles. Lawn signs make a huge difference, make really an immense difference. Not so much in presidential years when everybody knows what's going on, but just having a lawn sign out makes people aware of something's going on. And then seeing yes, yes, yes all around Lower Merion really does matter. It really does make a huge effect in the odd years. I just want to add in the note also that for anybody who is shipping, returning a mail-in ballot by express mail, whether it's a college student or wherever, that the requirement, and this is on the Montgomery County Voter Services website, is that the ballot gets packed just as if you were going to put it in a drop box, but then you put that inside the shipping envelope, whether it's UPS or wherever, FedEx, and then that shipping envelope has to have a street address, Voter Services street address, which is on the Voter Services website, and it's Swede, something or other Swede. So in Norristown, but it's not addressed to their mailbox in Norristown, or else it just will not get to them. So that's an important thing if you're, when you get the panicked call from some parent of a college student. So make sure you just know, it's on the landing page of the voter services website is on the right. There's a column and it has their street address. There are 2 drop boxes in Lower Merion now that are permanent, riveted into the ground. You can find them on our website on the, what's the page called?
It's there.
Voting page. But they're the one that has been there since 2020, outside of Ludington Library, near the corner of Lancaster and Bryn Mawr Avenues. And make sure you tell people it's outside, because yes, you get the panic calls, the library's closed. So it's outside of there, and it's open 24/7, as is the drop box that is behind, not inside, but behind the district court building that is on Montgomery Avenue in Narberth, right next door to the Staples. So but you can't see that box from the street. But the big parking lot's behind the building and the drop box is right there. So there's 2, they're open now, and they're open 24/7, round the clock until 8 p.m. on election day. So if you want the thrill of voting at 3 p.m., 3 in the morning, they can do it.
Video of it.
Right. No matter what hour.
So why don't you want to talk about the small group you want to talk about?
Okay, well, and these are helpful things. There's that one thing I have found about canvassing. I do canvass by myself, and I really think I'm not saying it's wrong to go with somebody else. Of course, it's whatever works is great. But it's not a necessity to go with a partner. I find it's a great way, it's an excuse to walk up to a neighbor's door, somebody you don't know, these are our neighbors, it's your precinct, and say hello and talk to them. And I have met some just incredible people, really interesting, amazing people in my neighborhood that way, who I'm very likely wouldn't have met otherwise. So it can feel like it's going to be intimidating, but you wear your badge so people know you're not just a nut.
Canvassing in pairs is actually safer, especially for women, and I understand.
Okay, Sarah's saying that there's data saying that canvassing in pairs is safer for women.
Not just women, but.
Especially for women.
Especially, should be encouraging people to.
And we're encouraging people to canvass in pairs. I'm not discouraging anybody. I didn't discourage anyone from doing that, but I'm just saying it's possible. And it can be a very positive experience. And that in terms of the question about who's on the list, if you look carefully, it identifies people's political, party registration.
So I'm sorry, we already went over this.
We didn't go over what I'm about to say, Rob,
Well,
and that's what you
then
gave
get
me
to
time to get to it.
Get to that.
So that when you come across somebody who is who's registered with no party, who is often called an independent, but there's no independent party in Pennsylvania. The language that seems to work better is to, instead of talking about Democrats, you talk about keeping extremists out or extremism out. Because that's what we're talking about with these judges, or that Pennsylvania is not for sale. That the billionaire extremists are trying to buy our courts. And that works with anybody on your list. So, and just finally, that when we say satellite, it means a satellite office of the Central Voter Services Office, which is in Norristown. So I just use the word local because everyone knows what local means. It's a local voter services office, and it is staffed by the official, actual professional voter services staff. And they have their equipment there and they can help with anything. So that's good to know. So what I had brought up in the executive meeting was the idea of to have a discussion for those who are interested. in, what kinds of, are there any, everyone isn't canvassing, apparently. Everyone isn't opening their email, apparently. There's seem to be some barriers for some committee people to be more effective in, churning the turnout within your precinct. So, let's use the time when we're here together. We've all set aside this time to work together as a committee to try to identify what are those barriers and see if we can help each other work through them. I would, for example, someone could say, I need help with, XYZ. I don't understand what, ABC means or something like that. So if anyone is interested in doing that, should we do this right now or just?
No, as soon as the meeting's over.
As soon as the meeting's over.
You
Okay.
can meet on it.
Nancy has a question.
But
Not you.
if, like, my grandson's in college, so you talked about putting it in an express envelope, but if he sent it back, couldn't he have just mailed it in regular?
If there's time, at this
Okay.
point, and at this point, it depends, of course, where the person is in college, but how far away they are. But it can take 2 weeks for a ballot to get from here to Norristown. And it's not just the Norristown Post Office, and it's not just the general Montgomery County Mail. It's inside a certain place.
You're suggesting he Federal Express it or whatever.
Probably better.
Certainly, if it's getting to be towards the end of the week, yes, and,
Yep.
yeah.
But that's-
And college students need help with,
That.
dealing with paper. It's
If they know what it is.
if they know what it is.
Adrian reminded me, there's another,
Yeah.
event that we need to talk about. So Adrian, why don't you come up and mention it to everybody?
This is what happens when I have my notes in 7 places. There is another school board forum. The Rosemont Villanova Civic and the Bryn Mawr Civic are presenting a school board forum meet and greet at Ludington Library on Thursday, October 30th. For some reason, I keep saying September, but it is October 30th at, it's either 7 or 7 o'clock. I'll get Bob when he sends the, thank you. Oh, yes, our civics are really, really important. I seriously advise you to join yours. Ludington Library, and you can take your ballot with you and drop it off outside.
College students, the mail-in ballot has a sticker. I made my kids send me pictures of them with their sticker, and I'm gonna send it to Zeke, so tell those kids to send the pictures with their I voted sticker.
Yeah, so if a group of us are going over and we have our mail-in ballots, take it with us, we'll take pictures and send it to Zeke.
On the Zeke podcast, that's right.
Yes, on the Zekely.
On the Zekely. Okay, thanks, Adrian. All right, so last quick couple of things. Yes, Sam. Oh, yeah. All right, last couple of things. Don't forget to come to the office Sunday afternoon for election day for your bag. Don't forget to contact me or Jonathan if you need watcher certificates. And don't forget that we're going to have the party at the end of the night at the Greeks, because we're not going to see any of you. We're not going to see each other before any of those times. Does anybody have anything else they want to say before we ask for adjournment? Seeing none, can I get a motion to adjourn? Second? All right, anybody, all in favor? All opposed? All right, don't forget, anyone who wants to follow up with what Phyllis was saying is welcome to please stay and chat with her on that subject, because I think it's very important.
Well, thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, everyone.